The difference between a stuck founder and a scaling founder is actually the things that they choose not to do, and instead the things that they choose to delegate to their team. Because at the end of the day, if you are stuck doing tasks within your business and you're not able to remove yourself, you don't own a company, you have a job. So here are the 5 things that every successful founder that I've seen actually delegates. The first is email and calendar management. And I know this is a total trope. You always hear, get a virtual assistant, manage your email calendar. It's a trope because it's true. The best thing that you can do as a founder is actually take client communications off of your plate. And there's 2 reasons for this. One, yes, it's time consuming. But the second is actually because it creates a barrier between the clients and yourself. So instead of them seeing you as the business or you as a contractor, they see your business as a whole. And that way, when you actually need something from a client, you sending an email carries more weight. If you are who they are interacting with on a day-to-day basis, it becomes harder to actually get deliverables from clients psychologically. Versus if you're having a virtual assistant, follow up with them, email them, interact with them, and then you only come in and interact when you think you're at a critical point or you're way past a deadline, the weight that it carries is much more severe. And you're going to have better results with your clients by actually putting some sort of separation between yourself and them. 2 is customer support. This is the same thing. If you're the one who's always answering 100% of the customer support communications, what ends up happening is you become the business. And that means that you don't have a sellable asset because you're the one that's responsible for all this knowledge. It also means that you're probably not writing down standard operating procedures on how to handle different situations. Because you're doing everything from memory, you're not able to delegate and then map out and eventually automate these tasks. If you're able to push these tasks off to someone else, not only are they going to be able to complete the task without you physically being there, but they're also going to be able to eventually automate this. I see a lot of founders will continuously do the same process over and over and over again, even though it's absolutely burning them out to do so. Once they start to delegate that task, it becomes something that goes off their plate. 3 is any sort of administrative task. This could be anything from CRM updates, follow-ups, to even billing. I know personally for me, billing was one of those things that was absolutely killing me. I became the bottleneck in my business because I did not want to let go of billing. And this is a mistake that actually ended up costing us money and costing us clients because it would take me so long to turn around the billing because I was busy with other things as the founder that things were falling through the cracks and things were getting lost. So I always tell my founders, make sure that you are delegating anything that is administrative. If you're the one doing follow-ups, if you're the one who's doing billing, you're going to get bored. You're going to want to move on. That's why you became a founder. And instead, these things just aren't going to get done. So hire someone who likes the repetition, who likes doing these things on a consistent basis as a personality type, and they will help your business grow. I know that's not your personality. If it was, you would not own a business. 4 is project coordination. There's absolutely no reason that you should be communicating with your graphic designer on Fiverr. I say this all the time to founders. If you have a virtual assistant, if you have somebody who's working for support within the business, they need to be looking at all of your contractors, all these people that you have that are doing small projects for your business and staying on top of them. You lose so much time going through iteration after iteration. If you have a virtual assistant who has enough brain power to actually look at what contractors are making as their projects and then make critical decisions on first and second drafts, this is what's going to carry you over the line. So that way, some of the big kinks have been worked out by the time it actually hits your plate. 5 is social media coordination. I don't know why, but it feels like social media is one of these things that founders take too long to let go of. What I recommend is actually creating a process that a virtual assistant can follow. So if you have a goal of, let's say, 3 posts a week, even if you're still the one that's coming up with the content, which I actually think is better because it does need to be in your voice, have someone who's sitting there and structuring that with you. So that's maybe sitting together and brainstorming during a call. That's personally what I do. Is every Monday I sit down with my social media team and I say, I'm thinking about posting this, and that. And then I start to do drafts with them actually on the phone. Then they'll not only recommend things, but they'll also help polish some of my drafts and provide media for said drafts. So if I host an event and I want to create a really killer video for that event, while I'm on this Monday morning call with them, I send them all the information from the event. So that includes photos and videos. That way on Tuesday, which is typically when I post on LinkedIn, they'll have that video ready and it goes with the draft that I've already wrote and they've polished. I don't think it's possible as a founder to fully delegate your social media just because no one is going to be able to fully replicate your voice, but it is possible to get very close. And when it comes to your company's social media, I do think it's possible to fully delegate. Just create a standard operating procedure of the types of posts that you want to see. What I usually recommend doing is doing a rotation of some sort of story that's related to your business, something that's practical information, and then something that's fun, funny, engaging. These are these attention grabbers that are going to really engage your audience. And you can have somebody else in your business do this, especially with B2C type content. If you are still doing any of the 5 things that I just talked about, please, for the love of God, drop me a message. I promise we can help you get some administrative support that is going to take these things off your plate. Because if you're not the one that is interfacing with clients, you're actually going to be able to focus on the project work and you're going to be able to focus on growing your business like the visionary that you actually are as a CEO.